Welcome to our RWL Ladies Night, our first of 2023. I'm Wally Cardille, and joining me in the booth for tonight, my friend and colleague, the lovely Christie Ogilvie. And Christie, better tell the fans who maybe don't know you a little bit about yourself, if you would.
Thanks, Wally. Well, I've been doing RWL broadcasts since about 2015. Usually, it was ladies' night shows with Megan Mitchell. I'm pretty knowledgeable about RWL, I'd kind of say, so I'm good at it. So good apparently, that Mike Lane likes what I do on broadcast. And oh, yes, I can't forget this little factoid. I was arrested and dragged out of the arena, on air, at Florida Flashpoint in 2016. Remember, Wally, Scott Bell had me arrested? But hey, tonight Wally honey, it's just you and me, and we're gonna have a great time with tonight's card, and you fans are gonna appreciate it, too.
Looking forward to calling the action with you tonight, Christie. Let's get things underway with our opening match, as Rosita of the Tag Trio Next Gen is one-on-one tonight with the rising young competitor, Virginia Austin. Let's go to ringside.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring, representing the new millennia, from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, Rossi.
In the tag trio of Next Gen, Rosita does a lot of the luchadora stuff. All the high-flying daredeviltry seems to be her strong suit. Wouldn't you say, Christio?
Well, she grew up watching all the Mexican lucha libre on TV as a kid, and it inspired her. Plus, she has Rod Whitley as a dad, LP Thunder from the Dream Girls as her adopted auntie. All that, and her natural talent too. That's why Next Gen relies on her as part of the team, but she's doing a single tonight with Virginia Austin, and Wally lots more about her crazy behind later.
Safe to say the fans sure enjoy seeing Rosita, with or without her teammates Angie Angel Guns and Sophie Spartan, and I'm keen to see how Rosita does against Virginia Austin.
Wally baby, don't go inviting any trouble. It'll show up on its own.
Representing the Alliance, from Nashville, Tennessee, Virginia Austin.
And here she is, Trouble with a capital V, the newest member of the Bells Council, Virginia Austin, and talk about a woman making zero friends in the back. You're looking at her. She's been winning matches, but hearts and minds backstage? Well, she runs with Brandy Knox and Jody Dvorak. What more does anybody need to know, right?
It is true that since replacing Sandra Dempsey as part of the Bells Council, she has been making a serious impact in the ring, and like her counterparts Brandy and Jody, they don't worry about other people thinking they're popular.
Okay, both these girls got some skills. Let's see where this goes.
We're underway, and hey, right off the bat, both these ladies come out swinging like Ollie and Frazier. Rosita defends nicely and delivers a hellified right, dropping Virginia like a bad habit. It's taking Virginia a bit to recover, but she does. Rosita's out on the apron. Austin tries to grab her, but no good. Rosita is up top, and here she goes. Look at that beautiful execution on that top rope arm drag.
Damn, look at her go. Rosita's just tagging VA all over and Austin's got no answers. Good on Rosita. Get it, girl.
Rosita sure is keeping Austin busy. Now Rosita hits with a low dropkick, puts Austin on her back again, and now Rosita grabbing this bull by the horns and pow. Knee to the forearm, sharp kick between the shoulders, and look at this, will ya? Rosita dives to her target with a moonsault. Rosita's speed really on display here, as she is just striking with quickness. She has Virginia Austin unable to even defend against an unrelenting barrage of kicks and stomps.
And moonsaults. She just added moonsaults to the menu. She ain't fooling around with this little heifer.
It was all going great for Rosita, but Austin with a counter into a reverse DDT, and Rosita is at least momentarily slowed down. Top turnbuckle, and here she goes with that cannonball drop. Right into Rosita's belly. And get this, she's confident she can nail another one. She's up there, and no. Rosita gets her knees up and makes that move a costly one for Virginia Austin.
Just look at her move, Wally. Makes poor Austin look like she's standing still.
Rosita handling her business briskly with Austin as she resumes another attack on the arms of Virginia Austin. Rosita leaps and flies, and another moonsault finds the mark. And I'm just realizing that Rosita has yet to go for a pin attempt, despite a few chances already. How about it, Christie?
You see that too, right? It's plain, Rosita just wants to hurt Austin. And besides, it's only been like 2 minutes, and she's just getting started on that bubble-headed bleach blonde.
This could be over instead of getting started. Rosita with a pin attempt. 1, 2, and no. Rosita felt she had it, and letting referee Walt Rothburn hear about it.
That's stupid for ya. Sweet Polly purebred should have just laid down for the inevitable loss. Now, she's just gonna catch extra beatdown. Stupid little heifer.
Rosita nails a cutter that puts Austin out like a club baby seal. 1, 2, 3. It's done. Rosita with the pinfall victory.
Now that's how you handle a little gutter snipe like Austin.
Here is your winner, Rossi.
Rosita with the 3-count win, and let me just tell y'all, I could not be happier seeing Virginia Austin get a little comeuppance.
It's true as gospel, Christie. Virginia Austin was way outclassed by Rosita in this one, and what a stellar performance by the young lady from Jalisco. Really impressed the Allentown fans here tonight. Don't look now, but Brandy Knox and Jody Boric just pulled up at ringside. This is gonna be trouble, Christie.
They ain't out here for any good. Aw, man, Brandy takes the ref out of commission, and Walt Rothburn is gonna take a little nap.
Rosita perching up on the ropes, but in a 2-against-1 situation that might not be the best idea. Brandy brings her tumbling down, and Rosita is at the mercy of the merciless. But check it out. Christie, she's still in there fighting back like a one-woman army, moving at blinding speed, taking down the pair of Brandy Knox and Jody Boric.
Couldn't keep it up long enough, though. Now we're back to the 2-against-1 situation, and little Rosita won't last too long if Brandy and Jody dial up their aggression. Damn, all this, just because Virginia took an L. The Bell Council's just a bunch of pretty snakes. Wally. To this day, I curse Too Short Popeye Scott Bell for bringing them into RWL in the first damn place.
You're not kidding, Chris. The Bell Council has left a trail of victims over the years, beaten, broken, and many with their heads shaved for the sake of humiliation, all at the hands of these women and their nasty little cohorts. It's looking bleak for Rosita as Brandy and Jody look to seriously hurt her.
Oh Lord, did you hear her cry out like that? Somebody needs to get in there and back these two off, because Walt Rothburn might as well be recording with his damn cell phone. Why is he not doing a damn thing though?
Jody Boric threatening to seriously injure Rosita as Brandy and Virginia look on.
Yup, like the pair of damn hyenas they are. Hold up, Wally, the cavalry just rode into town. It is Next Gen, Angie Angel Guns and Sophie Spartan, and they are moving with a purpose towards the ring, and Mr. Cardille. Business just picked up and kicked up.
We've got ourselves a full-on 6-alarm fire in that ring right now, and Walt Rothburn has completely lost control of this situation. Fans, we are gonna take a short intermission here. Hopefully, event security will have this train wreck under control by the time we get back, so don't go away.
We're back, and with the ring cleared, we can move forward with ladies' tag action as former rivals Crystal Gabor and the Fairfield Fox Faye Crawford form a terse alliance against women's tag champs Cherie Roy and Autumn Breeze. I love me some tag matches.
following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Palatka, Florida, Christie.
Debuted in 2003, hated, but I mean, hate-tagged by the fans, until she won their respect and love years later. She's a multi-time women's world champ, and she's been Matt Clark's partner for a lot of years now. Crystal Gabor, and don't forget her sisters, Casey and Sasha, who still compete with their sis from time to time. Yeah, Crystal Gabor's pretty much an RWL institution. Hasn't made Hall of Fame yet, but she will.
I'm sure that's going to happen for her soon.
And I don't know about you, Wally, but I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when these two decided they were gonna bury the hatchet. I mean, it was only November last year Crystal and Faye Crawford were trying to end each other's careers.
From Fairfield, Connecticut, Fox Crawford.
I remember, right after Halloween Brawl 2022, when things began to boil over between the Fairfield Fox and Crystal Gabor. But that's the nature of this business. You could be bitter rivals one week, and the next you're partnered up with that rival. The following week against a common enemy. Happens all the time, and it should be a switch for Faye Crawford, who usually works alone. Wonder if they will gel as a team against the women's tag champs.
They had better have put whatever beef they had into the dead past, or this is never gonna work. Sherry Roy and Autumn Breeze have got their thing down, and there's no slack in their act.
And their opponents,
They're the RWL Women's World Tag Champions since taking the titles from the Texan Ladies Association about 6 weeks ago, and Sherry Roy and Autumn Breeze, whose stars who made an impact on the indie circuit, have surprised the hell out of RWL fans with their abilities.
Sherry Roy from the Twin Cities and Autumn Breeze in front of a hometown crowd of Pennsylvanians. Man, she'd sure love to notch up the win tonight over Crystal and Crawford.
Is that anything like Crimson and Clover? There's the bell, Crystal and Sherry starting off collar and elbow, and it's Crystal who comes out on top with the arm wrench, and Gabor is really applying the pressure to the arm and shoulder of Sherry Roy. Roy didn't like that too cool. They lock it up again, with Crystal pushing Sherry into the ropes. They are clinched, and not letting up even a little. Ref breaks up the clutch. Crystal blocked by Roy with a smack, but Gabor tosses her out onto the apron and get a load of Miss Gabor, just having herself a time. Yo, I heard that one up here in the booth. Gabor with a backbreaker, and she's got Sherry Roy looking for her corner, a tag, and a ways out of the deep dish mess she's in right now, with Crystal coming in hot.
And up to now, nobody's made a tag. It's still Sherry Roy and Crystal Gabor, and Gabor has Roy completely off her game. Roy spins around, but to late Crystal right there with the devastating clothesline. Sherry Roy counters Crystal with a fireman's carry takedown, and while I understand she's trying to gain control, it might be more beneficial for her to tag in Autumn Breeze. And now Sherry Roy moving in on Crystal Gabor, but too late. Gabor makes the tag, and in comes Faye Crawford.
Fairfield Fox, going straight to work here with a kick to the gut on Sherry Roy, and she is following it up with a neckbreaker drop, and she tops that off with a running kick, but Sherry Roy is back up again. They clash, and Sherry Roy plays toss-across with Crawford by her hair. I think the Fairfield Fox just made the Queen of the Black Garden annoyed, and that's gonna cost Faye some pain points.
Crawford whipped into the enemy corner. Sherry makes the tag, and in comes Autumn Breeze for her first opportunity in this match.
And Autumn opening strong with an elbow. Now Autumn, getting Crawford standing up straight so she can knock her down again. But Crawford, fighting back out of no place, Crawford gathers Autumn up by her legs, takes Autumn Breeze with a catapult into the bottom rope. Anyway, we can forget the idea of being polite if it's gonna go out of the ring. And it looks like that's how these girls want to do this.
This one got really personal really fast, and referee Anthony Corallo enforcing the count on the two opponents, but he could count to 1,000 for all they seem to care, as they both take advantage of the absence of any sort of rule enforcement out on the arena floor.
Autumn and Crawford just going back and forth like a couple of serious heavyweights again, and I get the feeling the ladies' tag champs might have not been expecting this level of pushback from Crystal and Crawford, because they really haven't been able to punch a hole in their defense. Now we have Autumn and Faye countering one another masterfully, but it couldn't go on forever, and Crawford pitches Autumn Breeze across the floor again.
The officials counts at 8 and still going, as the Fairfield Fox stops to take a breather, possibly conferring briefly with her partner for a quick brainstorm. But Fate Crawford is back out onto the floor again, but Autumn Breeze sees Faye, and with a fancy allay, pitches Crawford into the ring post, and that slowed Faye down quite a bit.
Moving forward, Autumn Breeze now heading out onto the floor after Crawford, and Autumn may be thinking she needs to get Crawford into the ring with her shoulders on the mat if she's looking that messed up. Oh, well, how about this Wally? Faye Crawford still got some steam left, and it's Crawford now taking initiative, getting Autumn Breeze back inside the ring. What a kick. Autumn is down and Crawford-esque going for it. 1, 2. 2 count only, with Sherry Roy trying to make the save, and getting tagged a good one by Crystal on the way out, as this match continues. Crawford hits a facebuster on Autumn, leans in for the pin. Look at that smile. She knows she got this. That's done. Crimson and Clover win. Ha.
Here are your winners.
Gabor and Crawford win, defeating the Women's World Tag Champs, and had the belts been on the line tonight, it would have ended very differently for both these teams. But you know, Wally honey, a win is a win.
100% true, and we may have just witnessed the birth of a new ladies tag team. More ladies night after this, so stick around. Ladies night is back with our next match.
Gonna be a good one, too. With Mandy Rose, set to face Rossi Flores, joined by her manager, El Jefe himself, Ray Guns.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring, from Yorktown Heights, New York, Mandy Rose.
While Mandy Rose may be experiencing problems elsewhere in her career, she knows the door is always open here at RWL, and here she is tonight, ready to compete with Rossi Flores. And the Allentown crowd sure looks and sounds happy to see her in action, Christie.
I'm sure they are. Mandy's a big name in this business, and the fans, hey, they love them some Mandy Rose. That's what makes this match such a big chance for Rossi Flores. Get yourself a whole lot of recognition taking down a big name like Mandy's.
She's got a reputation as a bit of a powerhouse, very strong for her size. Think that might be a factor against Rossi.
She could overpower a bigger opponent, given the right set of circumstances, but we'll just have to see, Wally.
Accompanied by El Jefe, Ray G, representing the family from Yonkers, New York, Rossi Flores.
El Jefe and his sideline hobby. When he and Eddie aren't competing, Ray Guns has invested in a stable of beauties he believes could be champions someday, and Miss Rossi here is the flagship of the fleet, you could say, as she seems to be his best pupil, but even she's never competed with anyone on Mandy Rose's level. Again, babe, we just have to let the match run its course.
I'll give it to you, Christie, and since both these competitors are really skilled, It's bound to be a good match.
It'll be a great match. Just hard for me to say who's gonna win it at the end.
Okay, we'll begin with both ladies in a collar and elbow tie-up. Mandy Rose with the edge, and look at the sheer power of Mandy, just lifting Rossy Flores into a vertical suplex as her first move. I'd call that making a first impression, Christie.
She's small, but she's wiry too. You know how people say that, right?
It's usually true, and in this case, Mandy Rose fits the term, and Rossy backs her off, and Rossy flips the script on Mandy, has her in the fireman's carry, drops her into a little Kerry Von Erich-style tornado punch.
Yes, that was pretty badass, huh?
Rossy having words with the referee, saying get the hell out of the way, you're ruining the shot. He's ruined the moment for Rossy. She changes her mind and hokey smokes, tags Mandy a shot that fells her like an oak tree.
Wow, she can really move. She got across that ring so quick, Mandy didn't have a chance to recover. Damn, I doubt she even saw it coming.
Rossy with a top rope missile dropkick puts Mandy down the canvas. Mandy's got a hold of Rossy's leg. Mandy Rose takes Rossy down with a dragon screw, but the switch flipped again by Rossy into a roll-up pin. No dice, but what a slick counter move by Rossy Flores.
She's a mean one, stamping on Mandy's face like that. Yeah, she mean.
Mandy Rose again countering with the dragon screw, and it looks like that last one twisted Rossy's knee badly.
Mandy's just unloading on Rossy. She wants to be back in control of this one. Nasty slap from Mandy, and Rossy didn't like that, and she tags Mandy with a quick jab. And Wally, Rossy driving those knees into Mandy's midsection, and look at this right here. Rossy's cooking up a little something. Signals the crowd, and here we go. And out goes Mandy Rose onto the outside.
Yeah, and here's where things are gonna get a little untamed. Christie, with both these ladies taking their chances on the outside floor, this is where people get hurt, and as a competitor, you always reduce your chances of winning by just brawling outside the ring.
Yeah, but the kids love it.
You, my dear lady, have spent far too much time hanging around with Mike Lane, and he's rubbing off on you. Rossy whips Mandy Rose to the outside again after what turned out to be a very short return inside, and Rossy Flowers is heading up top. Seriously high-risk maneuver in the works here. Mandy sees it coming, just evaded. And it's a crash and burn for Rossy on that one. Mandy Rose perhaps going for a sidewalk slam, but Rossy counters with a knee, and Mandy is stunned. Then here comes Rossy with a blistering salvo of blows, ending with a vicious knee to the skull. That sends Mandy Rose collapsing senseless to the floor.
I have to admit it, Wally. Rossy Flowers has definitely shown a lot of potential in this match, where most people would expect Mandy Rose to just finish her off in a few minutes. Well, let's face it, that ain't happened so far, has it?
It sure hasn't, and agreed. With Mandy Rose heavily favored to win this match, Rossy has sure made it a tough slog. Now, with Mandy grounded, Rossy going to work on Mandy's leg muscles, working on taking some of the power out of those legs.
Just lighten her up.
And now again, Rossy has Mandy back to her feet as Rossy sends her cascading across the arena floor. She has taken Mandy nearly the whole way round the horn here.
And hey, big props to El Jefe Ray Guns, who stayed in the background, nice and quiet, no fighting with the ref, no trying to slip a little chair into the ring. Nothing. Man's been on his best behavior.
That's his policy when standing ringside during one of his ladies' matches. They absolutely have to sink or swim on their own to prove their worth. Facebuster DDT, and Mandy has gone far away as Rossy moves in for the pin and count to 100 by fives. This one is over. Upset pinfall win by Rossy Flowers.
Here is your winner, Rossy Flores.
Well, ain't that something? I would have betted all that Mandy Rose would get her hand raised quick in this one, but Rossy made a fool out of everybody, and Ray Guns, looking just as happy as if he'd won himself. Maybe he does have a future as a manager? What do you say, Wally?
El Jefe does seem to have a knack for scouting talent. Usually, very good-looking talent, and I guess he could hitch his wagon to a worse star than Rossy Flowers, and they will both be celebrating this win late into the night. Alright, we've still got more action ahead, including tonight's main event, so don't you go a changin'.
Inside this month's RWL magazine, find out why Sergeant Slaughter's in hot water, looking at possible suspension. We look at the top 10 RWL matches of 2022. This month's issue spotlights Dynamite Jeannie Parker in the new RWL Profiles feature, and as always, the monthly Hall of Champions. That and more inside the January issue of RWL magazine, available right here on the RWL YouTube channel.
We're back with a short update on the post-match brawl earlier tonight that ended up with all the members of both the Bell Council and Next Gen involved.
Wouldn't even have happened if Brandy Knox and Jody Dvorak hadn't tried to beat the brakes off poor Rosita. Long story short, citing a new no-tolerance policy for 2023, RWL management has handed down immediate suspensions for Next Gen and the Bell Council for 2 weeks.
Tough break for all the ladies, but on to our next ladies tag match, with Legends Division favorites Ivory and Jacqueline facing Francine Picone and Marta Gordon-Craig, the team of power and beauty. Jacqueline and Ivory, a pair of mainstays of the ladies' Legend Division. Just amazing how these two helped shape the women's division during the WWF Attitude Era. They've been friends, foes, and everything in between. But these two former ladies, Legends champs, are top-notch as a tag unit. Almost unbeatable.
And I've loved Jacqueline Moore since her early days, when she was just Miss Texas on Saturday morning wrestling on TV.
On the flip side of that, I remember Ivory from her days as Tina Ferrari and Glow, the gorgeous ladies of wrestling. But man, they have sure come a long way since then.
Should be pretty cool seeing how they interact with Power and Beauty. These two teams both got it going on.
Christie, get a listen to this crowd in Allentown tonight. Man, oh man alive, you can hardly hear yourself think.
And their opponent, Francine Picone and Martha Gordon.
That wacky phenomenon we talked about earlier with Crystal and Crawford, or Crimson and Clover, or whoever. That's Frankie Picone and Marta Gordon-Craig. Their first match was against each other. Their next one, they had partnered as a team, having been impressed with one another's skills, and while Power and Beauty have been away for a few years, they've come back with some new tricks. I like because they're really high-spirited, like, they get you pumped watching them do their thing.
And we're about to watch them do that thing against two of the very best.
All right. Miss Jackie starting it off against Frankie Picone. This is gonna rock. Alright, Jackie and Frankie send her ring in the tie-up, with Frankie Picone controlling things. She's got Jackie pinned up in the corner, and referee Butler breaks this up, and both ladies break clean, everybody being real polite in the early seconds here. Collar and elbow again, with Jacqueline dictating the pace. Now she's got Frankie Picone against the ropes, and the ref has to break it up again, but ow. Jackie not being too polite that time. Jackie moves in, but Frankie's got her on her knees, and is just kicking away at her. Frankie Picone rounding Jackie up again, and Jackie surprises her with a jaw jacker that staggers Frankie. She's got Jackie up, and Frankie Picone delivers the scoop slam on Miss Jackie. Yeah, she knocked the wind out of Jacqueline with that slam, and Frankie is dragging her to the far side, good and away from Ivory in a tag. Frankie's got her, hooks in her rear chin lock, maybe to make her tap, maybe just to punish her, but Jackie trying like hell to reach the ropes, but that's not happening, and Jackie has to fight her way out of the hold and check her out. Jackie's loose.
Just a quick reminder, fans, that right after this is our main event for tonight, and it's a non-title match with the rookie from Philly, Taylor Holly Combs, THC, one-on-one with Women's International Champion, Titania Tatiana, and Christie. That has gotta be one to watch.
Whole lot of talk about THC since she landed in RWL just about a year ago. and a lot of people, including myself, think Taylor Holly Combs is ready to go next level. But going back to the match we've got right now, Wally, so far, we really haven't seen a whole lot from either side, but we're still early into this one, and it'll probably pick up some steam right about here.
It should pick up as Jackie tags in Ivory. Frankie Picone makes the tag, and now it's Ivory and Marta. Marta Gordon comes in hot, striking fast and hard, but she overshoots the mark on this last attack as Ivory tries to move in, attempting the arm wrench but denied by Marta, who follows up with a forearm, and she's got Ivory down. Marta Gordon Craig slowly gathering Ivory back to her feet, Marta trying for what might have been a belly-to-belly suplex, but is countered by Ivory, breaking Marta's grip with hard right hands as Ivory follows it all up with a backbreaker on Marta.
Ivory tags in Jackie, and Marta is back to her feet in time to see it tags Jackie a jab, stuns her, and here's Marta with a hard Irish whip to the ropes that puts Jackie out on the floor, with Marta in hot pursuit. No more polite here, Wally.
It sure does look like courtesy and sportsmanship has gone down the toilet here, as Jacqueline and Marta Gordon Craig battle unrestrained and unrestricted outside the ring. This match could run long, and if it does, it won't affect power and beauty. They hold the record for longest women's tag match in RWL history, set in 2017. Then they beat Faye Crawford and Sexy Star, after an epic match that broke the clock at 49 minutes and 48 seconds out of a 1-hour time limit, and Frankie and Marta are in top physical shape, not the least bit afraid of endurance matches.
Maybe, but Marta sure looked afraid of that ring post. Now Jacqueline moving in, and they've been out of the ring a good minute now with the refs count at 8, but Jackie and Marta are too focused on wearing one another out to care about the count. Again, it's clear that this one has become personal for these ladies, neither one is backing down, and showing no interest in wanting to get this back into the ring, and referee Butler, still counting at around 12, and something had better happen pretty soon because nobody here wants to see a double count out.
No, indeed, that would not be a favorable outcome, but Jacqueline tossing Marta Gordon back inside the ring where this one will continue, with Marta and Jackie just battering one another. And Jacqueline with a neck breaker drop follows with a pin, but Marta nowhere near weakened enough yet. And now, frustration setting in as Jackie rains down right hands on Marta's temple. Frankie Picone looking far away in that corner as Jacqueline nails Marta with a spin kick. Jackie goes for a pin again, one, and broken up into by Frankie Picone as the ring clears out to the two legal ladies as Jackie resumes the attack, but Marta surprises her with a quick shot that puts Jackie on the mat, and Marta Gordon Craig stops to take a well-justified breath.
Marta Gordon Craig from Sacramento, California. She was trained at Seamus O'Toole's Shamrock Slam Academy, graduated in the same class as Frankie Picone, and one thing I see about her is that she is tough. She can take heaps of punishment before it becomes a problem. Plus, she's fast. Marta can just mess you up all kinds of ways.
Unfortunately, it's Marta getting messed up right now. Wraparound DDT by Jacqueline. And that move has ended many a match for Jackie in the past. Jackie thinks she has it. Here comes the ref and no. Man, count broken by Frankie Picone. But referee Butler considered collateral damage. And it looks as if everybody is gonna take 5, including the official. But no rest for Jacqueline. She's got the feeling. She's got Marta where she wants her. Kaboom! Nails the wraparound DDT again, but with no ref, there's no pin and no point, and Jackie tags in Ivory as the referee rejoins our broadcast.
Ivory seems like she's judging whether that DDT by Jackie was maybe enough to have done the job. She's gonna try for the pin here, and wow. Marta's one tough little lady to kick out of a pair of DDTs. See what I mean? Tough little cookie. Marta Gordon wins it up and clotheslines Ivory to the outside yet again, and what's she got up her sleeve here? She's kicking into her stride and drops on Ivory from above like a hawk. I do not believe she just did that, Wally.
It was a crazy chance to take, but Marta scores with an amazing aerial move, showcasing the amazing skills of power and beauty. Now we've got both ladies back in the ring. Marta with the initiative. She's got Ivory wrapped up and belly-to-belly suplex. 1, 2, no dice to count only, and just look at Marta, wondering what she has to do to put this one to bed, and coming up with no answers at all. whips Ivory into her team's corner. And what's the deal here? Marta not tagging in Frankie Picone. Instead, she's got Ivory in the tree of woe. And Marta, are you freaking kidding me? She can't be serious. Marta Gordon all the way across on the opposite top turnbuckle. This will be beautiful if it goes according to plan. The crowd is hushed, and here she goes. And she nails Ivory with a dropkick from across town. What a sight! And would you just listen to that? The crowd getting solidly behind Marta and Frankie in this one, and you have just got to put a little respect on them for their performance so far tonight.
I'm still spinning on the fact that Marta flew like damn Superman at Ivory after kicking out from 2 DDTs from Jacqueline. I'm like, what's this girl made from?
Ivory and Marta have been going back and forth, and it really is a sight to see when two competitors get into a zone like this, where they almost seem to predict one another's move. And that's what we're seeing here between Ivory and Marta Gordon. Who's got Ivory up in the fireman's carry, and what's next? Drops Ivory to the canvas face first. Now wasting no time, whips Ivory into her team's corner, and where's this gonna go? Marta tags in Frankie Picone and Christie. We are gonna see a little tag team tandem fancy work from Power and Beauty. Frankie and Marta pure poetry in motion here. And Ivory gets free shoe prints from Frankie Picone. Ivory not moving after that double team move. Frankie going for the pin. This could be it right here, but no. Jacqueline saves it at the last possible second. And the tempers are starting to flare as we have all four ladies in the ring going at it now. Hooper Butler enforces the 5 count and clears that ring.
He is, and they are. Meanwhile, Frankie tags Ivory with a left hand, stuns her a second, and here we go again, y'all. Frankie whips Ivory out to the floor, and as much as I love Ivory and Jackie, you can see who's standing and who's laid out. Count in. The ring lights. Power and Beauty ended this one dominant, and we still haven't got a winner. Frankie now, whipping Ivory back between the ropes, and hits her a parting shot before entering the ring again herself.
Jacqueline on the outside, unresponsive now for nearly half a minute. Ivory in trouble on the inside, and it is all Frankie Picone at the moment. But Ivory reverses, taking full advantage of momentary edge. Ivory pins, here's the count, but just an ace, and not the ace-deuce tray combo she wants. Ivory moves in, Frankie Picone counters with an arm drag. Jacqueline still out to lunch as Frankie sets up for a powerbomb here in her team's corner. And there it is, Frankie Picone with a pinning powerbomb. The ref counts it. And another upset win, tonight by Power and Beauty.
That was crazy. Power and Beauty just took on 2 legends and they walk out with the 3 count victory. Are you serious? I'm sure it's a nice contrast from having lost their first return match just a few weeks ago, but Francine Frankie Picone and Marta Gordon Craig rocked it tonight over Ivory and Jackie, and this is a win fans are gonna remember.
Agreed, Christie, and how about the dual-pronged attack of Power and Beauty reclaiming this match at times when it really did look lost?
Here are your winners, Francine Frankie Picone and Martha Gordon.
Amazing resilience on display by Power and Beauty, who kept it on the road when most would have crashed and burned. It's coming up on main event time, and last time Taylor Holly Combs and Titania Tatiana met, the women's international champion dominated THC, but the bad girl from the Badlands wanted her rematch and got it. THC versus Titania up next.
I know you're worried, Tatiana. If not, flat out scared. Why? Because you've stood across the ring from me twice already, and you got served twice, and that was when you didn't even have the women's international title. But it's different now. You do have the international belt now, and that makes it different. I beat you twice already when it didn't matter. When you didn't have a belt. When you didn't have your little lapdog showbiz. See, you know, if I beat you again. Excuse me, sorry. When I beat you again, you know that Taylor Holly Combs might come knocking for that 4th match with you. For the international title, and you know what? You should be afraid. All that size and brawn and power, and I've already kicked that well-muscled behind twice. See you at Ladies' Night, Tati.
You know, Taylor, when you're right, you're right. It's true. You did get lucky a couple of times against me. It's true, too, that you do pose a small threat to my reign as RWL Women's International Champion. But even a small threat shouldn't be ignored or written off. So tonight, I'll have to eliminate that threat. I'll have to hurt you so badly that the memory of it will make sure you don't ever want to set foot in ring with me ever again. The title isn't on the line between you and me yet, and I'm gonna make sure you lose interest in it really fast. I'll break your interest in my title, and I'll break you to do it if I have to.
Pre-recorded comments from both participants in tonight's main event. But tonight, the talking is over as Taylor Holly Combs goes one-on-one against RWL's Women's International Champion, Tatiana, and it's next.
Is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Taylor Holly Combs.
THC is primed and ready for this third encounter with Titania, and these two really not ever gonna be pals. The dislike for one another, Christie, just too much.
Factual statement right there, Wally, honey. But now that Tatiana is Women's International Champion, Taylor Holly Combs is more motivated than ever to get another win on the Golden Goddess, and I think she can do it.
You may be right, because I can't ever remember Taylor Holly Combs looking or sounding so confident about a win.
Representing the Bad Girls from West Hollywood, California, the Women's International Champion, the Greek Goddess, TT.
There she is, all 6 feet and 1 inch of Tatiana, the Golden Goddess. And if she perceives Taylor as a threat to her title reign, THC had better be on her guard tonight, because that championship means more to Titania than anything.
She's definitely going into this match, looking to embarrass THC. Both ladies have a solid motivation for not wanting to drop the ball tonight, and that's gonna make for an awesome main event.
Check out the look in the eyes of Taylor Holly Combs. She really wants this win. Main event's on. They square up. They lock up. Taylor whips Tatiana into the far corner, and she moves in. Here we go. And head first into the turnbuckle goes the champ. Taylor moves in again, but no. Tatiana ready for her that time and double boots to the face for Taylor. Titania fighting mad, grabs Taylor, whips her into the corner. Titania with a closed fist, and now, setting up for that corner clothesline, cues up her shot. And man, Taylor got all of that one. And this match already starting to slip away from THC as Tatiana heads north. She's gonna hit Taylor with the splash. Here she goes, and Taylor's pinned. But too soon, only a 1 count as this exchange doesn't end well for THC.
Rough exchange for sure, but looks like Taylor's bringing the receipts. Look at THC go. Taylor sets her up for the corner bulldog. She charges, just drives her whole head into the canvas, and quickly follows it up with a moonsault. Now going off the ropes with a slingshot moonsault. Taylor's coming back strong, Wally.
She has Christie. THC on fire and taking control of this situation while Tatiana's on the canvas. Taylor's gonna try and wear the Amazon down with a submission hold. Tatiana slips out the back door. Now Tatiana, she's got Taylor. But THC with a little magic there. They clash again, and this time it's Tatiana with an arm drag. Both standing again, Tatiana reaches out, grabs Taylor, and man, just sailed her across the ring. Raw freaking power. Tatiana's got Taylor stunned and nails her with a tornado punch. And man, Christie, the Allentown fans really giving Tatiana the business, now that she's got control of this match again.
Color me oh so surprised, babe. She's been making enemies since her first match last spring when she injured Alicia Fox. Then, right away, she just had to step to Jeannie Parker, and they wound up in it a while. It wasn't until she got to Susie Campbell that she even got her hands on the international belt. Come on now, Wally. You know can't nobody stomach that big bruisey you-know-what? I'm gonna stop right there.
Whatever you say, Miss Ogilvie. In the meantime, Taylor Holly Combs is really taking the fight to the champ, striking with quick and accurate punches and kicks that have kept Tatiana off her vertical base. Taylor's just slipped up and she crashes to the mat. Tatiana gotta try and crush her off the ropes, and Taylor just makes it out of the way as both ladies get to their feet. And now Tatiana and THC swapping shots back and forth, and Taylor puts Tatiana on the mat again, and THC is heading for the corner, and yes, she's gonna go air on Tatiana. And get a look at this, will ya? Moonsault off the second turnbuckle. Beautifully done. Taylor's just kicking Fields goals off Tatiana's back, and she's definitely got the Amazon slowed down. Taylor on that second rope, and she lands another moonsault on Tatiana. Not sure what she's got cooked up, but Taylor's dragging Tatiana to the center of the ring, and here she goes again, nailing yet another moonsault. THC goes for the hat trick, but gets stopped by Tatiana's knees in a well-timed block. Tatiana swings and misses. Taylor fails to connect as well, and now Tatiana has Taylor drives a knee into her face. Taylor goes down. Tatiana follows up with an elbow drop and misses her target. Taylor tries again and gets a knee in the gut. And THC is helpless as Tatiana heaves Taylor up on her back and shoulders, and bam! Fly swatter slammed, and now Tatiana goes to work on the legs of THC.
These first few minutes alone have been nerve-wracking. So much back and forth and momentum. I'm gonna run out of nails to bite before this one's done. Wally.
Tatiana's got Taylor, holding her up in a display of power. Where's she gonna put her down? And oh man, what a slam that was! Well, THC had complete control of this match, but that's gotten away from her, as Tatiana dials up the aggression, not allowing Taylor any real chance to fight back, and Taylor will have to make one before Tatiana puts her away.
Come on, Taylor. I know you can do this.
Maybe she can, but THC having a pretty rough time of it right now, as Tatiana simply imposes her will on Taylor, who seems unable to turn things around at present, and Tatiana is making her pay. Man, oh man alive, THC is in a serious fix. Tatiana's got her up over her shoulder. We've seen this inverted power slam from Tatiana before, and here it is, just devastating power on this move from Tatiana.
Cheating heifer gotta use the ropes. Big bad Tatiana the trickster. Nice try, wench.
Tatiana sets Taylor up here, and she's going for the pin. 1, 2. Only a 2.5 on that one. Taylor Holly Combs is far from beaten, and Walt Rothburn catching it from Tatiana. She wants him to speed up on that count. She felt sure she had this, but at a 2.5, maybe she shouldn't auto-flatter herself that way. THC all the way at the top. Tatiana's not moving. Taylor outs it in motion, and another top rope moonsault from THC, and Taylor goes for a pin. Looks like frustration beginning to show as Taylor becomes unfocused, and that could be a mistake. As Tatiana finds the hole in Taylor's offense, and she hits the mat, and here comes Tatiana with a splash. Tatiana knocks the wind out of Taylor's sails, and she's just looking to inflict damage at this point. Doesn't look like Tatiana is interested in a pin or tap-out attempt just now.
That speaks volumes. Tatiana pretty much just realized that she really could lose this match. If she wasn't doubting herself before Wally, trust me, she's doubting herself right now.
That doubt has Tatiana really going in on her opponent. She wants to hurt THC to the point where she won't ever want to compete against her again. She is just taking THC apart at this point, and it's not looking good for Taylor Holly Combs.
Yeah, she's gonna try to really hurt Taylor, maybe even sidelining her if she can. There's no need for that. A sadist like Tatiana's got no business holding championship gold. People like that are sick. Damn. I think Taylor's knee is hurt. Look how she's holding it. Wally.
THC charges again, but is stopped almost effortlessly by Tatiana, who delivers a spinebuster on Taylor, but fails to connect with the splash, and now both ladies back to their feet again. and Taylor Holly Combs whips Tatiana to the outside, and Taylor not even a little satisfied as she moves in on an unprepared Tatiana, as Taylor scored with a dropkick that sends the Amazon toppling to the floor, and Taylor waiting it out to see what Tatiana does next. Taylor may wish she'd stayed in the ring, because Tatiana has her, delivers a series of backbreakers, and just tosses Taylor off to the side, the way Godzilla might play with a subway train. Tatiana slowly gathering THC to her feet and knocks her back down with another twister punch. Tatiana's moving in again, but no, not this time, says Taylor Holly Combs, who gathers her up and delivers a snap suplex on the arena floor.
When these two met for the first time during the Japan tour late last spring, the match didn't go anywhere near as long as this one has, neither did their second match at Snarl last summer. That says to me that both these ladies have improved in the physical conditioning department. I don't care for Titania, but I'll give both her and Taylor credit. They've both come a long way in just a year's time.
They are the two hottest rookies of 2022 duking it out here on Snarl. And Christie, what do you want to bet that THC?
Hang on a second, honey. Taylor's got a pin. I've gotta agree with Taylor. What's the deal with Rothburn and these slow counts? Get with it, ref.
Taylor with a gut kick. She comes off the ropes, takes Tatiana into a roll and nails the chiropractor. Taylor pins 1, 2. What? I don't believe it. How did Tatiana kick out of that finisher?
Taylor's finished her with the chiropractor before, so even she gotta be like, how?
THC fails to connect with the moonsault, and she may have gone to the well once too often with that move. Taylor delivers a gut shot, a high kick, tries for a whip, but Tatiana counters, comes off the ropes, and ducks Tatiana with some Xena Warrior Princess action, and follows up with a dropkick. Taylor strides across, hits the ropes, and she's gonna go up one more time. I sure hope this isn't a mistake. Shooting star press from THC as she goes for the pin again. Here's the count. 1, 2. Man, are you serious? Tatiana just refusing to stay down, and THC really annoyed with referee Walt Rothburn.
It's a 20-minute match. We're almost at the halfway mark, and Taylor's had Tatiana in more than a couple of pinning predicaments. I'd be frustrated too, if it were me trying to put this one away.
Taylor fighting hard, but Tatiana tries to stop the rally again, and she's moving in on Taylor, but THC just a little too fast on the draw here, lighting up Tatiana's thighs with kicks. Now Taylor off the ropes again, ready to take Tatiana for a little ride. A little round and round she goes, and Tatiana comes to a hard stop. Taylor goes back into a rear chinlock again, hoping maybe this time she's softened Tatiana up enough to garner a tap out. She's really cranking on Tatiana. The referee's asking Tatiana if she wants to submit, but that ship has sailed. Tatiana loose again, and she's got Taylor, setting her up again for that fly swatter, and the impact rocks Taylor's whole body as Tatiana moves back in, again working on the legs of THC, and Taylor already favoring that left knee from before. And Tatiana may be breaking Taylor down at this point in the match. Tatiana had Taylor up and delivers a power bomb with authority. Taylor trying to get back up. And oh man, I don't know that Taylor can take another Samoan drop, but there's no going back now. And oh, Taylor just crushed with that move, Tatiana hooking the leg, and...
Oh, wow. My heart's in my mouth, Wally. I just swore this one was over.
Tatiana, literally asking the sky what's it gonna take. Why can't I finish this woman off? Tatiana sets Taylor up again for that inverted slam. And oh man, it is looking really bleak for THC, who's tried to slow down or stop Tatiana. Tatiana getting ready again. And oh no, she's gonna plant Taylor again with the Samoan drop. Tatiana crushes Taylor again. And this has gotta be the end. No way. How did THC survive again? I don't believe the tenacity these two competitors are displaying here tonight. Taylor's motionless. Tatiana thinks she's got this. Goes for the splash again, and just crushing THC again. I do not know how Taylor Holly Combs can even try to answer this assault at this point. Here goes Taylor and Stunner. Stunner off the top rope. Taylor Taylor knows this is it. She has got to stop Tatiana or this match is over for Taylor. Holly Combs hits a code breaker. Taylor a firing on all cylinders now. Hits a leg drop to Tatiana's lower abdomen. Moshe's got that left leg of Tatiana's and she wrenches on it full force. And Tatiana's back on the bad end of this match. THC kicking and stomping away, follows up with a low dropkick. And Taylor really pressing the advantage now. Hauls Titania to the ropes, slaps her down. Taylor off the ropes and THC nails Tatiana with a Kentucky knee. And now is THC's chance to end. This one, shoulders down, hooks the leg.
Oh my God. What's it gonna take, and who's gonna have it? Wally. These two have wrecked each other and still coming like the Terminator.
We've seen some pretty fierce battles already in this new year, but I have a feeling this is one we'll be talking about months from now. What an absolutely epic battle between these two rookie ladies. And Asuki, this looks bad. Tatiana has Taylor up in the military press almost 8 feet in the air, and there's only one way to go, and that's down. Taylor just dropped like a stone as Tatiana gets ready to land another splash on Taylor. She does. And THC looking all but finished here as Tatiana climbs to the top rope. And this is just unnecessary. Why not just pin Taylor and finish this? Already, Tatiana perched up top, Taylor struggling to her feet, and Tatiana nails the double axe handle off the top, and Taylor is down again. Now Tatiana, sensing the end is near, gathers up THC and delivers another devastating tornado punch. Taylor's fading fast, Tatiana attacking relentlessly. Tatiana has Taylor up again, and this time it's not a power slam. Tatiana hangs THC off the ropes, and she is just destroying the hang on a hot second here. Taylor blocks Tatiana's attack, and Taylor, Holly Combs just losing it on Tatiana, raining blows left and right, backing the Amazon away. Taylor makes a grab for her, and Payal delivers a spinning slam, and THC quickly follows that up with another moonsault, and she's got Tatiana reeling. Now, Tatiana down, and it's Taylor's off the ropes with yet another moonsault. Tatiana's not moving. Taylor hose for the pin. 1, 2. Chalk this one up. What a battle we just saw, with THC coming out the very exhausted but satisfied winner.
It's wild that we aren't even 2 weeks into 2023, and we just saw what could be a match of the year candidate. I mean, I've seen me some main events before, but Wally baby, this one was one of the main eventiest. These ladies left it all in the ring on that one. What an awesome ladies' night card we just witnessed, and Wally, thanks so very much for joining me in the booth for it. I have just had a total blast, and I hope y'all will invite me back for the next ladies' night.
Trust me, Christie, the pleasure was all mine. Fans, that's it for us. Thanks for being with us. And RWL Star returns tomorrow with a 1-day delay on Sunday, January 15th. For all of us at RWL, Wally Cardille saying thanks and good night.
And I'm Christie Ogilvie, and I'll see y'all soon. Much love.